loving the journey. So it's been a few weeks since I posted a video, and it's actually been for a really good reason. Over the past 2 weeks, I've been thinking that I wanted to do a comparison in the way in which I'm going to grow and harvest my herbs and vegetables. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare what you see behind me, which is the plants that I purchased from a feed and seed or home improvement store that were already pre-started for me. I'm going to compare those with vegetables that I'm going to regrow from kitchen scraps, and compare those with vegetables that I'm going to grow from actual seeds. So it'll be fun to see how things actually grow, how much longer it takes from the actual seeds, from the kitchen scraps to those that are already pre-started. It'll be interesting to compare the way that things grow, and we'll be able to compare if we have a great harvest. Do the actual vegetables survive, if there's any taste difference, just a lot of different things. We compare those different ways, and it's another way to help you go ahead and get started with your garden if you haven't already done so. Kitchen scraps are perfect. So I'm really excited because, you know, I come out here every day, I look at my garden, I get a little bit of peace, I'm learning patience, I get to see them grow. But I'm like really obsessed because every time I go to the store, I find something new that I want to plant. So my garden is actually really growing, and I'm very excited about it. So I'm gonna give you guys a 2-part video. I'm gonna show you how I prepared some of the items I'm gonna regrow from kitchen scraps, so you can see that process and go ahead and get started on your process if you're doing one as well. And then just show you how the different seeds look and how I'm planting them kind of day by day, how they're growing and getting prepared to be replanted if I have to replant them. So I'm very excited. I hope you guys are too. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to talk about for our garden comparison is going to be seeds. Seeds are probably the purest and the most economical way to grow a garden because you get a lot of seeds in the pack for a very small price. You can also produce a harvest in as little as 25 days. A lot of the green vegetables like spinach and arugula tend to grow pretty quickly. This is the packet that the pole beans come in. They take about 66 days to harvest. And if you look here on the map, we're just on time to begin planting. The packet says to soak overnight to speed up germination. And germination is just a process by which an organism grows from a seed. So basically, we just sped up the process of sprouting the seed to a seedling. I saved some of the beans just so you all can see what it looks like and what's happening underground. So anywhere from 10 to 15 days after germination, we have plants that are ready to be replanted directly into the ground. They have to be replanted because of how they grow, and if they were to stay in the pot, they wouldn't survive. Black seeded Simpson lettuce takes about 45 days to harvest. The seeds are very fine, so I just dug 2 trenches in a rectangular pot and planted them directly into the soil. And here they are 8 days later. White squash are one of my favorite squash to eat, and they're summer squash, so of course you can see we're right on time to start growing them. They take about 49 days to harvest, and the seeds look similar to that of pumpkin seeds. No special process was involved in planting the seeds for the squash. I simply just dug 1.5 to 2 inch holes directly into the soil using my finger. I dug about 10 holes and I planted 2 seeds in each hole. I planted 2 seeds to ensure that at least one of the seeds take, and once they start to grow, we can thin and keep the healthiest of the 2 if necessary. These plants we will not be replanting. We're going to let them continue to grow in the 12-inch pot you see here. Finally, we're going to use tender carrots in our comparison. They take about 70 days to harvest, and if you look, you can see that the seeds here are very fine as well, similar to that of the lettuce. I used 2 12.5-inch round pots. I cut 3 holes into one of the pots to make it easier for harvesting, but also to create the illusion that when we pull that top pot out, we'll be able to see what's actually taking place underground if the carrots were actually planted in the soil. I planted the seeds directly on top of the soil, compacted the soil, and just added a little bit more on top and watered them very well. So let's fast forward to where we are today, a couple weeks later. We have 2 leaves that are starting to show for our white squash. If you look very closely here, we have some really tiny green leaves that are forming. Those are going to be the carrots that are sprouting. Green beans are definitely ready to be replanted into the ground. And then here's our lettuce. It's getting really full, so it's growing nicely. And if you guys follow me along here, I'll show you where we're going to replant the green beans. So instead of just buying extra things at the store that were unnecessary, I repurposed some old fencing that we had at the house. So if you look here, I went ahead and created this space for the green beans. I've already added the organic all-purpose soil to the dirt. So here you can see my father thinning and choosing the healthiest of the green beans that we're going to replant in the holes that I've already pre-dug. Lastly, we're just going to water the plants after we've planted them, and we're all done. Remember, time is non-refundable, so use it all with the intention. Until next time, enjoy where life takes you next. And look out for part 2 of our video.